Well, I'm out today on the Blue Revolt in Advance 2. And it's cold today, but for January it's pretty much as good as you can hope for, because although it's cloudy, we haven't seen the sun for a few days, it's dry. And on top of that, it's not frosty. So from a cycling point of view, it's not too bad. So I plan to go up into the Vale today because the traffic is just so bad. I find myself riding in the Vale more and more because it's pretty rural, and there's no sort of tourist attractions or shopping centres or anything, so it's a huge incentive for people to go there, and the locals like it that way, you know, because it's populated by posh rich people who'd rather keep the area to themselves and not have plebs coming through. That's not to say there'll be no traffic, of course. But I went out yesterday, Sunday it was, and it was just incredible. Of course then you get 7 or 8 really close passes, and it just takes the fun out of it a bit. Can't imagine what it must be like in more densely populated areas. So I mentioned in the last video my experience with treads, and a few people have commented on that, talking about their local bike shops and their big corporate bike shops and the experiences. And really, what it comes down to is passion. You know, there's no guarantee that your small local bike shop is going to give you good service, but you are more likely to get better service, because the big chains, they're not there to sell bikes, they're there to make money, and there's a difference there. They don't care about your needs, they don't care about what happens when you walk out the door. All they care about is how many units they've sold and how much money is in the till. You see, quite often your local bike shop is run by someone who loves cycling, someone who loves bikes, and someone who likes promoting cycling. And they want to build a relationship so that you'll stay a customer with them. And when they expand, they'll take on staff who love cycling. They're like-minded, because the owner of the shop wants to talk bikes and cycling with his colleagues. And the mechanics like working on bikes. And they understand what they're doing, and so if you've got a problem, you generally know what the solution is. And they're prepared to do it properly as well. In my local bike shop, they've got a telly on at the back of the shop, and they've always got a Pro Tour cycling on, and they talk about it and they watch it because they love cycling. And so You feel like you want to go in there. And they, unfortunately, I found the Giant fits me really well, and I didn't want to try anything else, and they don't sell Giants, so they do all my maintenance. Unfortunately, I haven't bought a bike from them. Whereas your corporate bike shops, well, that's slightly different. Your corporate bike shops are there to make money. You're part of bigger companies. And Triggs is owned by Halfords. And all they ever look at is profit, bottom line, figures. When they have a meeting, they don't talk about bikes, they talk about profit. And another thing that's been happening for the last 40 years or more, certainly all of my working life, is this idea of cut costs to maximise profits, drive wages down. So the salesman in the shop, when you ask him stuff and he doesn't know, it's not his fault, because he hasn't been told. He's there, just out of school, on minimum wage, and in fact, if he was passionate about bikes, they probably wouldn't have given him the job. Because the manager's 24, he's only got £1 an hour more, and he's afraid that somebody who's passionate would take his job. And the big boss is concerned if he's passionate, he might start taking too long to serve a customer instead of getting money in the till straight away. Not to mention the fact that he's had to walk to work because his bus didn't turn up. And instead of saying, oh, thank you for putting in the effort, they've given him a bollocking for turning up 5 minutes late. So you can understand why his heart's not in it. Same with the mechanic, he's had the very basic training. And on top of that, it's his sister's 21st birthday on Saturday, but he's been refused a day off. So his heart's not really in it. One of the comments, somebody said, Specialized don't have a very good reputation. But he'd had incredibly good service. And what I'm saying is, good service isn't brand specific. It's shop specific. If your bike shop is prepared to go into bat and tell the manufacturer that they want warranty claims on it and that they don't believe things should have failed, then you'll get the result you want. If you've got a bike shop that just shrugs its shoulders and says, nothing we can do really, well, you're not going to get anything sorted out. And so it's very important to find a good shop and then build a relationship with them. And I think, sometimes you buy the brand that the shop you like sells. But if that doesn't suit you, then like me, buy the brand that suits you and just accept that you're not going to get good service from them, but your local bike shop, the one you trust, will look after it for you. And I've mentioned before, my friend and I were both Ducati supporters, and I've had Ducatis in the past, but I switched to Triumph because the Triumph dealer was just so much better. Real family feel to the place, really looked after people. Whereas when you walked into the Ducati dealer, first thing he said was, "I hope you brought your checkbook." And somebody once said to me, "Oh, you won't change bikes, you're too loyal to your Triumphs." And I said, "No, I'm loyal to my Triumph dealer." And as I said, it's not always the case that the local bike shop is going to be the good one, because my local Trek dealer, well, he's hit and miss really. In fairness, two mechanics that work there are really good. There's no issues with them. Some days you can go in there and he's really helpful and friendly. And other days, he doesn't want to know you. And I'm sure he's got his small group of loyal customers. Perhaps that's his thing, you know. I haven't spent enough money there. But in fairness to my local Trek dealer, they will go into bat for you. They'll get on to Trek and say it shouldn't have happened, it needs to be replaced. And there's a company called NatDeck who I watch them on the YouTube, and from what I can see, they really do help out, because they're only a service centre, they don't sell bikes. And if they come across a faulty component, you go to the manufacturer of that component and ask them to do something about it. Well, if I lived in that area, I'd definitely support them. A lot of companies would just go, "Oh well, faulty component, sorry, have to pay for a replacement." And that'll be the end of it. But always remember, customer service is a two-way street. If you're argumentative, don't listen to their advice, they're not going to be able to give you good service.